Hello, everyone. Welcome to GA's Tea Time. We discuss all things General Hospital. If you haven't already, please hit the bell notification. The like and subscribe really helps the channel. And I want to send a special thank you for everybody that has already subscribed. So, guys, let's get our teacups, let's get our snacks, and let's get ready to discuss our favorite characters. General Hospital Daily Recap, Thursday, March 5th, 2026. So, guys, we had a bunch of folks in this episode. We had some Josh, some Carly, Jason, and a bunch more. So, let's see what our favorite bunch of characters are up to. Josh found Valentine up in Carly's attic, and Valentine was like, "Oh, look at little Josh, now WSB agent." Josh just hit him. She hit him so hard in the private area and then the face, and then started cuffing him. Right, she zip tied him up and everything like that. I was like, "Dang, I guess that's kind of messed up, Valentine like that." But anyway, as she's doing this, Carly walks in. So Carly's like, "What are you doing?" So she was like, Josh is like, "So you knew he was here?" And Carly was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Just like I know that you a WSB agent." But this conversation between Carly and Josh was very, very interesting because it's kind of crazy. So anyway, Valentine is funny because Valentine is just like, "Can somebody untie me?" They just both looked at him, and then Josh took her mother and took her downstairs. Kind of was basically Josh is like yelling at Carly because Carly is she's saying, "Well, you could go to jail for this. This is treason, espionage, all this other stuff." Carly's like, "I would do anything to get you out of the WSB." So Josh is like, "You knew I'm in the WSB." So they kind of going back and forth. How long does she know this, that, and everything. And Carly was like, "I want you out." So Josh starts going down the rabbit hole of how long she's been in the WSB, how she got in, and why she got in. Carly's blaming Jack. And Jocelyn's like, "No, she wanted to do this." And then she starts telling Carly how she killed Cyrus and how Brennan actually laid the breadcrumbs so she can find Cyrus. Now, doesn't that sound like a set? Like for her to be like she's so smart and she knows what she's doing. When she started explaining how Brennan gave her the little breadcrumbs to get to Cyrus, does it sounds like a setup? Like he wanted to get you in this. But Carly was trying to give her daughter the whole rundown. Look at Anna. Look at this. It's not a good place to be. All this stuff. The problem with the whole thing is Josh is adamant that she wants to be in this WSB. But then here's the stupid part. She says the reason that she's in this is because of Sonny. I'm like, what? So you're gonna give up your whole life, everything that you know for Sonny? That makes no sense. Okay, so she's going into this whole long drawn out thing, how she wants to take Sonny down and all this stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? This is the reasoning that you killed Cyrus, that you in the WSB, that you gave up your regular life and all that kind of stuff. We know it was also to get revenge for Dex. But her ultimate overall is to take down Sonny. You didn't have to join the WSB for that. You could have become a detective, a police officer, anything else. Whatever. I think that the writers could have done a better job on. I was hoping they was gonna bring it back to Sunny, but this is silly. I want her out too. I'm with Carly. Get out of that. This is dumb. So the people that are in the WSB are way better than Sunny. Like Cullum is over here building weapons of mass destruction. It's like, and Sidwell is crazy, and Cullum is helping Sidwell, and Brennan does all types of stuff. Poor Anna is in some psych ward, and you want to be part of these people. They're better than Sunny, though, right? Okay. All right, so we got Jocelyn's answer on why she's in this WSB, and she's adamant about not getting out. And she told her mother if she doesn't get Valentine out of there, she's gonna come back and get him herself. At the end of all of this, Josh left. Valentine came downstairs and put his hand on Carly's shoulder, which was sweet. Carly just looked around and she don't know what to do with any of this. So it's gonna be interesting to see where their plan goes because now Valentine has to leave Carly's house. I want to know where he's gonna go. He should just go hide out in Windermere, and nobody gonna be looking for him over there. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. So Brennan came over to see Jason. He wanted to ask Jason what him and Cullum spoke about. So at first Jason was like, "I'm not giving him no information," but um, Brennan went down and said, listen, this is going to help Josh out because if Cullen finds out that she's a WSB agent, blah, 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 she's going to be in a lot of world of trouble. Still, Jason was kind of hesitant. And then Brennan said, I'm the one that helped Carly out getting rid of that video when she was saying she was the head of the crime family or whatever. So I guess Jason felt, okay, I'll give him something. So he told him basically that Cullen was asking about the five poppies and stuff like that. Brennan said if he comes back in and he asks for any other information, can Jason let him know? And Jason said, yeah, he'll let him know. Britt had sent Jason a text to ask him to meet her at that cabin thing that they keep hanging out at. Jason said no, he couldn't do it because he was talking to Brennan. So anyway, later on, Britt just shows up. Now look, if y'all supposed to be in secret, I don't even understand this. You cannot just come to his warehouse. I don't know why she doesn't think somebody could be there. Brendan was just there. They supposed to not know each other, right? Also, she doesn't know if anybody's following her. But anyway, Britt had a bad day because we know she lost the baby. And she needed some comfort, so she came and told Jason what was going on. Jason gave her a hug, and that was the end of that. This pairing this time around is not doing it. I don't know what happened. Like it's almost like they lost their mojo with each other. Because I used to root for Britt and Jason, and then all of a sudden it just seemed like there's no spark there. So it's kind of weird. I know they said the actress was kind of disappointed that Steve Burton kind of was like he wants a new partner. I guess he doesn't want to continue with the storyline. So, but it's really interesting to see. But anyway, that's side note, guys. But Britt was just distraught and she needed some confidence, so Jason gave it to her. Felicia saw Nathan and Lulu kissing. Nathan walked off, and then Felicia came up like a bat out of hell and came up and started going at Lulu. She was like, what are you doing? You with, that's Maxie's husband, and this is kind of a betrayal. This and So anyway, Lulu was kind of like, Maxie made a choice. She chose Spinelli, and she was like, oh, but that's what makes it right. That's not right. That's your friend, and you shouldn't be messing with her husband. And look, Felicia's right. Lulu needs to go talk to Maxie. I've said this before. Lulu needs to go talk to Maxie and explain the situation and see what Maxie has to say. The thing that it's two things that I don't like about this. Well, one, Lulu should have told Felicia, I'm on my way to speak to Maxie, right? But also, they keep saying, what if Maxie had chose Nathan? I don't understand this because what if Nathan didn't want Maxie? They'd act like Nathan had no choice in the situation. Like Nathan could have been like, if Maxie had said, Nathan, I want you back. It doesn't seem like Nathan wants Maxie back. Everybody's discarding that. That doesn't even happen, right? I'm still not saying that this situation is right. I do think that she needs to check with her friend if it's okay, and then plan from there. But Felicia was just kind of going off on Lulu. So Lulu said, you know what? She came to a conclusion. She talked to Nathan a little bit later and was like, I really do need to go and talk to Maxie like now. And she does. Brooklyn and Chase is still at the hospital, and the hospital asked them to fill out some paperwork for Delilah. I still think this is weird that the people are asking them so much information about this lady that they met for 3 seconds. They have no information on her. They only know that her name is Delilah, and that she was pregnant and she was laying on the floor. They asking her for last names and all types of stuff like that. But they don't have no information. Anyway, Nathan came up and told them about the bag he found, but he was like, look, there was no information in the bag. But he also gave them an update and said, we're going to go door to door, see if we can find some information. We'll run her DNA through the system, see if we can find it. So he has a plan of action to see if they can find out any information about who this woman was. Felicia came up and was telling them about the baby. They're calling the baby Jane Doe because they don't have a name for the baby. And Brooklyn was like upset about that. And she was just like, the baby should have a name. But Felicia did say, listen, you guys can come and check in on the baby anytime you like, right? Chase and her go upstairs. They're looking at the baby, and the end of everything, Chase was kind of like, don't worry, she has eyes. We'll come and check in on her. So we all know where this is leading, right? Eventually, they're probably going to be trying to adopt this baby. Britt and Liz was still talking about what happened with Delilah and the baby and how Britt had lost her patient. And Britt agreed. She said, you're right, Liz. This is the first time I've lost a patient since I've been back being a doctor. So Britt also gave Liz a compliment. Liz was quite kind of taken aback because she was like, "Wait a minute," she's like, "Is this real?" So, but Liz was like, "Okay." Britt gave her some kind of underhanded, even though you're insufferable, you're a good nurse. But she said, "Oh, there's go the real Britt, right?" So anyway, her and Liz came to a conclusion. She thanked Liz for being there for her. And then when Liz left, um Britt was looking at her phone because they had came to a thing about being mothers and how it was hard on both of them because they were both mothers. We got to go back to Rocco, right? So Britt's looking at a picture of Rocco because that's her motherhood picture. I just wish they would get Britt away from this Rocco situation. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. Like she stole somebody's embryo, and they need to stop with this. But anyway, she felt really bad, and that's how she went to go talk to Jason later. Sonny and Justine, these two are funny. They are like kidding themselves. So they were talking about they had their little sexy time, and they said they glad they got it out of their system. Now they can move on, and it was a one and done, and they don't have to worry about sleeping with each other no more because they ain't never gonna do this again because her career be messed up, and somebody would try to get Sonny. They probably try to take him out. And so they both agree, yes, this is a one and done. What I thought was really funny is that Sonny built a whole bedroom off to the side for Charlie on Charlie's bar because he did it for Christina. He said it was for Christina so she don't have to travel home late at night because bars usually close like, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So he was like, he just want to make sure she's good. She can sleep there. But he gonna use the room to christen it with Justine. Okay, anyway. So we all know this ain't no one and done. They gonna be sneaking around to this little room as much as they can, trying to be together until somebody catch them. So Sonny's used to people trying to get him. I don't know, Justine, I feel like it's too big of a risk for her to want to mess up her whole career messing around with Sonny. But and also, I don't know if I still trust Justine. I think Justine still might be trying to play him. Her ultimate goal is to rise in power. As much as she likes Sonny, I'm not sure she like him that much. But we'll see what happens with this storyline. Guys, which part did you like the most? I think I like the confrontation between Carly and Josh. I don't like the reason why she said that she's a WSB agent, but I did like their acting in that scene. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section and hit the bell notification and kindly hit the like and subscribe because it really helps the channel. And thank you guys again for joining us at GHT time. And I will see you next time. Bye.